Well, here on the video report on Tuesday, I cashed in with both of my complimentary plays, giving you the Astros on the run line with a 5-0 win at Philadelphia, and the Mariners needing extra innings but getting the job done because the Red Sox had a meltdown in the 13th inning as Seattle prevailed at home 6-5. And of course, my best bet, thankfully, won as well, as the Cardinals got the job done after blowing an early 2-0 lead and winning in the bottom of the ninth at home 3-2 over Colorado. But also on the site, a couple of red-hot handicappers, Chris Jordan on another one of those rolls, another double your wager release. He's only had 12 of them in 34 years in baseball, and he's hit 2 of them back-to-back days, both days going with the Cleveland Indians as a run-line dog, cashing in once more with the Indians as a $1.20 puppy last night. A dramatic grand slam walk-off by Encarnacion, giving you the win, and you got both of those wins as the half-price play of the day, and props also going out to Eric Schroeder, he likes it pronounced. My bad. I apologize, Eric, as he cashed in with 89 baseball winner number 9 of 11 last night with the Dodgers on the run line, and you got that for over half price off. So a lot of hot baseball handicappers. I've never understood the reason why a lot of guys decide to bail in baseball season. It is the easiest sport to win money in, and it's the easiest way to pad your bankroll with football season right around the corner. Instead, a lot of guys will come back in preseason football, which is damn hard to make money in when baseball is so much easier. I've always said that, baseball betting, it's kind of like if you had a pizza, right? 100% of the betting public represented by that full pizza is betting football, college and pro. And then when the football season is over with, let's say 75% of those people are still betting college basketball right through March Madness. And then about 30% of those people are still left for the NBA playoffs. And as the playoffs whittle down, that number drops down to about 25%. And then in baseball, you're looking at only 10% of that gambling public, that original big pizza pie that we started with, still betting baseball. Those people, you people that are watching this video report, you people that are just like me, you realize that baseball is the easiest sport to win money in. But it's a grind. It's the dog days of summer for a reason. Because well, let's face it, it's drudgery sometimes. But it's the sport that's easiest to make money because of the patterns that develop, because of the repetitiveness. There's a rhythm involved in betting baseball because you have teams playing 6-7 days a week, because you know that you have pitchers going every 4th or 5th day. And you can spot the trends not only in the pitchers, but in the teams themselves. Who's hot, who's not. Now, listen, as a gambler, as a handicapper, as I'm well aware of, not only as a gambler, you are always going to be victimized by the same streaks, both positive and negative, that the players and the teams are victimized by. But still, it's a long season, and you can certainly make money, and that's why it's the easiest sport to make money in. But again, a lot of handicappers and a lot of gamblers, they put that "I've gone fishing" sign up right after the Super Bowl or right after March Madness, and they just blow off a sport that's designed, personally, I feel, to make you money, to build that bankroll for the beginning of the football season. Again, we are talking, today is July 26th. College football, my goodness, it's right around the corner. Matter of fact, when is the first college football game? Let me just look at the site. August 26th. There you go. August 26th is the first set of college football games, because we know we are all salivating for that Oregon State, Colorado State, Hawaii, UMass, South Florida, San Jose State, Rice, Stanford. Yes, we are just all waiting for that 4-pack of college football games, are we not? Please tell me we are not waiting for that Hall of Fame game, are we? Please, I certainly hope we are not waiting for that ridiculous game. Anyway, we move forward. Let's talk about this day in history. In 1775, the U.S. postal system is established with Benjamin Franklin, the first postmaster general. Remember, in the 1600s, for those of you that are not aware, because I certainly was not aware before today. So, hey, it is a learning experience today before we get to your 2 complimentary plays. In the 1600s, those living in the colonies, who needed mail? Really, nobody really mailed each other. The only mail that was really going on was between those living in the colonies and those that wanted to converse with those living in Britain. And then the mail was sent by ship, and it took months to get a letter going back and forth. And where was the mail dropped off? It was dropped off at inns and taverns. And you went and picked it up. got a couple of brewskis and picked up your mail. In this day in 1908, the FBI, a bunch of federal agents, the FBI was formed. It wasn't called the Federal Bureau of Investigation for a number of years later, but the FBI was created on this day in 1908. In 1943, a guy by the name of Mick Jagger was born. In 1942, Dobie Gray was born. Dobie Gray. I'm sorry, that's just a great song, and you know the one I'm talking about, 1973, Drift Away. Dobie Gray, his real name, some dispute whether or not it was Lawrence Darrow Brown or Leonard Victor Ainsworth, either way. Born into a sharecropper family, Dobie Gray was the name given to him by a record company. Drift Away in 1973, it's just a great song, a great vocal, reached number 5 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart and finishes the number 17 song in 1973. And then, of course, that clown, Uncle Kracker, appropriately named artist, if you ever asked me, released it, re-recorded it in 2003, and it reached as high as number 9 on the singles chart and finished as the number 19 record in 2003. And listen, it was a lousy song until Dobie Gray, at 62 years old, came in and piped in that song, and he could still sing that song. He still had the pipes even then. On this day in 1975, The Hustle by Van McCoy, number 1 song on the Billboard Hot 100 charts. Do the hustle, you know. You can hear that little song, that little refrain, do the hustle. Mainly instrumental, except for that little do the hustle. You can hear that, right? It ended a 1-week run by Listen to What the Man Said by Wings, which ended a 4-week run by Love Will Keep Us Together by the Captain and Tennille. Yes. And what song dethroned the Hustle by Van McCoy? Come on. Yeah, like you knew this, okay? You probably still are wondering what the hell the movie was that was number 1 by... No, I'm not going to kid you. No more kidding about that movie with Bruce Wilson, Ben Affleck. Yeah, we won't talk about that video from a couple days ago again. It was dethroned by the Eagles one of these nights. And the Eagles, that also it started a 5-week run for them as the number 1 album on the U.S. album chart with One of These Nights in 1975, tying with Elton John's Greatest Hits for the second longest run atop the album charts in 1975. The longest run, well, 2 albums actually had a 6-week run in 1975 at the top of the charts. Couldn't get more diverse than these 2 artists. Led Zeppelin with Physical Graffiti and Elton John with Captain Fantastic and the Brown Dirt Cowboy, which returned to dethrone the Eagles a couple weeks later. By the way, you may not like Van McCoy's Do the Hustle, but consider your options. 1 year earlier, in 1974, this exact same week, the number 1 hit on the charts was Billy, Don't Be a Hero by Bo Donaldson and the Haywoods. Classic song. 1 year later, in 1976, it was Kiss and Say Goodbye by the Manhattans. It was a weird time in radio. I remember growing up, AM was still on its way out, but still trying to hold on. FM was here with album-oriented rock. Radio had disco coming in. It had hard rock. It still had bubblegum songs like Billy Don't Be a Hero. It was still populated by Barry Manilow and Olivia Newton-John and John Denver and Elton John. And yet you had, Led Zeppelin and Queen and all the hard rock, album rock type of groups. And yet you had all these Casey and the Sunshine Band and disco groups peeking their heads in. And then, of course, a year later, there was that little group by Bee Gees, the name of the Bee Gees that just exploded with Saturday Night Fever and just took over the charts for a couple of years. But anyway, that is what was going on in music. May we also say happy birthday today to Kevin Spacey, who gives a damn, he's 58. More importantly, Sandra Bullock, 53, and still looks good, but come on, the next one, can you believe Kate Beckinsale? God, I can't even say her name. Kate Beckinsale is 44 years old today. Have you seen Kate with those pictures lately with her, 21 or 22-year-old boyfriend lately? 44, guys. Wow. We move on. Your first complimentary play tonight. I am going to go, 44 years old. you're going to stop the video now and you're going to go do a search. I know you're going to go do a search. It's Beckinsale. Do the search. Trust me. You can come back and watch the video. I'll wait for you. I'll still be here with the complimentary play. There are more important things in these complimentary plays. Trust me on this. Let's get to your first complimentary play. I think the Toronto Blue Jays are a fascinating selection tonight because the Blue Jays have won the first 2 games in this series against the Oakland A's. And the Oakland A's, they're 16-33 on the road. Worst record on the road in the American League. And you have a Blue Jays team that has won 10 of the last 11 meetings at the Rogers Center in the series. And you have an Oakland team that is batting .210 in its last 22 games and a .236 on the season. So telling you all that, it would be the first inclination to immediately run to your bookmaker or call your offshore book and take the Blue Jays plus $1.20 on the run line. And they won the first 2 games in this series, right? Here's the little problem. Marco Estrada, not exactly putting together the season of all seasons when you're going into your free agent year. This guy had been so consistent the past 2 years. This year, he's 0-5 with a 9.52 earned run average in his last 9 starts, with opponents batting .341 against him in those 9 starts. Gee, you think that's why the Blue Jays have lost 7 of those 9 starts? What do you think? He lost at Oakland on June 6, gave up 4 runs in 5 2/3 innings. He has an 8.38 earned run average in 2 career starts against the A's. Now, little thing about the Blue Jays. They've won the first 2 games in this series. That's the first time they've won back-to-back home games since the end of May. And the A's are going with a 23-year-old rookie, Paul Blackburn, who has made 4 career starts, and he has 2.88 earned run average in those first 4 starts. All that being said, I just can't back the A's in this spot. So, despite Estrada, I'm going to go with the Blue Jays and their offense to carry them to the victory on the run line tonight. Would I put my own money on them? No, that's why it's a complimentary play. Your other complimentary play, another situation where I'm going to defy the law of averages because I think this guy is due, and I'm going to take the St. Louis Cardinals on the run line plus $1.40 at home tonight against the Colorado Rockies. Now, Carlos Martinez is going for St. Louis. He had a no decision in his last start at Chicago. The Cardinals did win that game. They had lost his previous 5 starts, but he's got a 2.90 earned run average at home. His earned run average, however, in 4 July starts is 5.48, but it was 2.43 in June. It was 2.03 in May. It was 4.3 something in April. This guy is a quality pitcher. He just has had a string of 4 bad starts. And the Cardinals, they were my best bet last night. Colorado had won 6 out of 7 games and had scored 74 runs and had 98 hits in them. But 6 of those 7 games happened to be at home. They come onto the road again and they turn into pumpkins. They lose the first game in the series 8-2. Last night they lose 3-2. Now, Jeff Hoffman is one of those guys you got to be very careful with. A road-home split is very, very difficult. This is a guy who's 4-0 in 5 road starts with a 2.45 earned run average. At home, pitching in Coors, 7 home outings, 6 of them starts. He has a 7.79 earned run average. I expect this to be a low-scoring game. However, there's no way I can play the Cardinals minus $1.55 to $1.60 on the money line, so I think you take a shot and take the Cardinals at huge take-back money at plus $1.40 on the run line, and look for Martinez to shut out the Rockies bats in this one. So, 2 what-if plays, banking on both the Blue Jays and the Cardinals bats to deliver with run line wins as home dogs. Blue Jays and Cardinals on the run line. And again, go look up Kate. Trust me, it's worth it. Good luck, everybody. Talk to you again tomorrow.